All right, so I think this is week 45. Let's go ahead and get into the Outlook. I've added a couple new pairs to the Outlook GBP CAD XAU USD, which is gold. I'm in a GBP CAD trade, so I'll go over the outlook for that or what I'm seeing. And then also gold, I'm not in a trade yet, but I am looking for potential opportunities. All right, so starting with GBP USD, let's see here. Like I said in the previous outlook, we've broken out of the range. We are actually descending, it seems, out even more into the range. We are currently inside of a bearish run. We have completely transitioned from a bullish range to a bearish run. So now we are looking for this to establish the entire price leg by solidification of the next previous high. So we need to identify that high, right? So after we broke this leg here, that was based off of, this move here. This is still the high. Now, why do I say this and not this? Well, it's based on the fact that this high here is the last high before breaking this low. And now when I say that, it's not the last high, it's the last high as in the pullback high before breaking that low. And so I need this high to be broken to solidify this entire price leg here. And as soon as we, continue going downward, or if we create a new high, if we get a pullback and we create a new high and go down even more, then that will shift the high solidification of the price leg from here to whatever that high is here. But if this is to continue, then we would want to see solidification of the leg as the high goes here. So like I said before, we've completely broken out of this range, so I no longer need this. And now we are looking for this here to be our high, and now we're looking for our low. So our low will be wherever, after we solidify breaking this high, it'll be whatever that point is down there. As of right now, though, we're in the bearish run, and so we should be looking for potential targets. The nearest target actually is this low here. So either we're going to get some sort of action that generates price action to push back higher to refuel, or we're going to continue lower and just free fall, taking out that low there. That's what I'm seeing on GU. UJ, we're actually still moving pretty high. We've yet to hit one of the liquidity points inside of this range, which we are still in. We are still inside of this bearish range, this macro bearish range. And so we're still really in a holding period. I did mark out a potential entry that I was looking at, but as of right now, it doesn't seem very relevant. And it's not really high probability because it is a buying opportunity inside the premium. So I'm not really stressing it too much. Just waiting for price to reach into our areas of interest, take out these liquidity points, see what actions occur at these liquidity points, and then go from there. All right. The NASDAQ. Everybody wants to know about the NASDAQ. All right, so on the daily, like I said, we're still bullish. We created all-time high. I talked about, if you're in the RCV chat, I've talked about, or in my channel, I've talked about the trades that I've taken. I've talked about the position that I'm in. And currently, we are still pro-trend. We are very, very bullish. So we're still looking for bullish continuation to the all-time high. We seem to enter a consolidation period, and if we get a little bit more resolution, we're basically consolidating even on the 4-hour time frame. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm in a position from this green box and still looking for a price to continue higher. If it rolls over, then we'll reanalyze and see what happens. All right, that's it for the NASDAQ. I haven't done too much on the Nikkei. We're still extremely bullish for the most part. And yeah, not much to say there. All right, GBP CAD. So this is one that I added. I was just perusing through the different pairs and was like, I wonder what's happening on GBP CAD. For just some reason, I just felt like looking at GBP CAD. And that led me to finding an opportunity for a buy. That also showed me potential based off of this, we are in a bullish run, and it looks honestly like we have potentially transitioned from a bullish run into a bullish range, and that is based on the fact that if we, mark out the lows and highs, we have low, high, low, high, low. Now, why would I say this is a low and if this isn't solidification of the range? Because of the action here. This right there is a liquidity draw. Notice how price did not sustain moving lower. It gave a lot of wick, and then we drove higher again. So essentially what we have is a bullish run here from here, low, high, low, low. And I'm only marking out the significant lows and highs, which are the highs or the lows and highs that break previous significant structural points, which are these highs and lows. Everything inside of here, they're just internal liquidity and internal price action that's occurring inside of the move. All right, so this here, from this low to this high, is the price leg. And so we get the impulse, the pullback, and now we have the next low. And then once we break the high, this is the next impulse. And then this generates the high here that broke that previous high. And now we have the pullback. And so that led me to seeing the pullback into whatever inefficient pricing was in there. And then once I saw that inefficient pricing there, I did the rest of that stuff. So I'm not going to go into that. I'll make a whole trade video for that. But I'm currently in a position looking for continuation up into towards the next high, or depending on what happens inside of here, we may be potentially transitioning into a bullish range. All right, and on gold, forget this. I did say that I'm looking for a 2-hour price gap play here, but what I saw on gold ultimately was that we were bullish, and then we had a break of structure to the low side at this liquidity point, or no, it's not liquidity point, the structural point here. And once we had that break of structure, I then started assessing, hey, where are the opportunities? So I marked out this price gap, this daily price gap. We mitigated 50%, but when I refined to the 2-hour, I saw a price gap that was unmitigated inside of this area. Now, why didn't I mark out this price gap? It's based on this turbulence here, this consolidation. If this was uninterrupted as we took out that low, then I would look at this as opportunities for entries, but as of right now, I'm still looking at this and prioritizing this because this was uninterrupted price action to take out that structural point. All right, so that's it for the outlook. Peace.